Okay, here's the deal. Let's face it, the hiring process does not move nearly as fast as we'd like it to move. In fact, it feels like it moves at a glacial pace. It's kind of the difference between how time moves when you're on the treadmill versus when you're having a really fun time. It's just completely different, but there's reasons for that. So if you know these reasons, it might help you to be a little bit more relaxed during the process, recognizing that things are moving forward, just maybe not at the pace you want. So to get started, when you apply to a job, it's not unusual for an organization to get many applications. And so a recruiter may wait for a week or two to get applications to start sorting through them before they move that on to the hiring manager. So don't expect to get an email the next day saying, hey, we got your resume and we'd like to interview you. It doesn't mean that you're not in the running, but maybe they haven't even started looking at those resumes just yet. Other things you have to think about from the employer side is that everybody has a day job. Everybody's trying to get their regular work done. It might be busy season. People might be traveling. People might be on vacation. There's so many things happening behind the scenes that we might not be aware of as a candidate. And usually it takes a number of people to make that final decision. So they want different team members to be involved. And so gathering these people and scheduling these people to do interviews can take a while, especially if they have an open role that they might be covering for. So keep that in mind as well. And then the process itself, again, getting scheduled and going through this can just take some time, especially as it gets to the final stages and HR needs to get involved to put together a formal offer. Again, they're probably hiring other positions, so people are busy. So as much as we'd like it to move faster, as much as we'd like regular updates, it's probably not going to happen. So what can you do to reduce that anxiety? Well, there's a few things. One, keep looking. Keep looking. Even if you feel like I'm so close and I think I'm going to get this offer, even if you have a verbal offer, keep looking, keep networking, keep moving your job search forward, because a lot can happen between that final interview and landing the job that may mess up your plan. So if you have other things going on, one, you'll be distracted and you'll be looking at other jobs, but two, you may get a second opportunity and now you can compare the two and choose the better option. So always keep looking until you are sitting in that chair in your next job. Another thing you could do is when you are interviewing, you can certainly ask about the process. When do you expect to move to the next level, or when would you like to have somebody be starting in this role? So you can kind of get a sense of what the company's thinking. I mean, if somebody has an open role and it's busy season and they need somebody very quickly, that may be very different than if somebody is getting hired for an employee who is retiring in 3 months and they have a little bit more leeway. So when you know some of these things, it can give you a little bit more insight into the timeline. And then I would say the last thing to do to kind of keep that anxiety at bay is try not to get emotionally invested, meaning try not to start thinking about your commute and where your office chair is going to go and how you're going to hang your pictures and which plants you're going to bring to the office. Because when you start to kind of get yourself emotionally invested when you don't even have an offer yet, then if something doesn't work out, it's even that much more disappointing because your mind interprets that as a loss when in fact you didn't really have the job in the first place. So these are some things you can do to kind of reduce that anxiety. Know that the hiring process does take some time, and because they're trying to be consistent, they're trying to kind of cross the T's and dot the I's. And actually it's a benefit to you because you want to try and meet as many people as you can. You want to assess the role. You want to assess the company, the culture. Is this a fit? So if it moves too fast and you don't have time to do that, that's a red flag as well. So as you're in a job search, I know it's challenging, it's anxiety provoking. It doesn't seem to be making any sense to you as a job seeker. Know that these are normal and that you do have some control over that anxiety if you ask the questions to try and get a sense of what's going on, you understand what's happening in the background, and you keep going, you keep looking until you find something, because just that activity will reduce that anxiety.